just a few months before I turned 40, I was just trying to make sense of life. I was in a really bad place where I felt like I was being punished. First of all, I am the third last born in my family, meaning that I'm a typical perfect middle child. But I think that the middle child is absolutely the forgotten child. You're neither the one who's being spoiled nor the one who's being given responsibility. Sometimes you're lost. So growing up, I realized that I am control freak. You want to control everything and everybody. And then also I'm a hyperachiever because I've had to kind of, come out and also show myself, like attract attention and show myself, tell the world I can actually do this. You need to make your presence known somehow. And so growing up, you start to...
You're fighting for space.
You've said it right. You're fighting for space. You're fighting to take your place and be seen,
And I know healing is not something that is instant. What are some of the layers you've had to peel off where you can speak about an issue and confront it in another person's life?
One of the biggest things I've had to learn is to learn to identify offense. Know that offense is actually a bait from Satan. I need to be cautious enough to always remember that, so-and-so has said this, but I don't think they actually meant to say it that way. I can say that I still get offended, but I catch myself and I say, but Pamela, you're human. I mean, you could have done that. And for me, it's been a journey of pain to purpose, and also appreciating the fact that finding your purpose and living it out is the highest level of worship.
Wow. Welcome to today's episode. My name is Renette, your host, and I'm always excited to be back on your screen so that we get to know what you're thinking, we get to know your feedback. Thank you. For those of you who have subscribed so far this year, thank you so much. Thank you so much. For those of you who watch us and you don't subscribe, I don't know. This is a new year. I don't want to have trouble with you. I'm not going to tell you to subscribe. You watch until you feel like your heart is not doing the right thing. Yeah, you'll feel guilt in your heart. When you feel that, please know it's the Holy Spirit telling you to subscribe. Anyway, that's a joke. But please subscribe. Let us know that the content we bring you is very helpful. And today I have a conversation with a lady that is no stranger here. We had her last year when we were talking about business and altars. And today we want to talk about evolving as a person, as an individual in your personal life. There's evolving, there's understanding your seasons, there's understanding the season you're in, how do you evolve, how do you fit in, there's understanding the limitations that you're facing at current seasons of your life, what is bringing them, what's the root cause. And she's no stranger to this journey, and I want her to take us through her journey and then let us know what you learned at the end. Yeah, so Pamela, you're very welcome.
Thank you, Renee.
How are you?
Always happy to be here.
I know.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm great.
Yeah.
It's a new year, new beginnings, new things.
Yes.
Looking forward to a beautiful year.
Amazing. Happy belated birthday.
Oh, yes.
Pamela made 50 last year. She sang it. It had to sink in us that, guys, I'm no longer in your league. And I mean, it's really amazing. I don't know how it feels like to be that age.
Weren't you saying it's to be 50?
Like I want to understand at that age, what is the most important thing?
Turning 50 for me was like a bittersweet. I arrived at it when it was like a bittersweet feeling.
Yeah.
And I think then I got to understand what midlife crisis is all about. Like you get there and you're thinking, okay, I'm turning 50, I'm excited. I've been excited. I spent the whole year preparing. I was really excited to be 50. Then a few weeks to 50, I chickened. It's like I said, saying, oh my goodness, this hasn't happened. This hasn't happened. It's like you're taking stock with a bit of regret as well. But I managed to conquer that and just say, wow, I am blessed to be alive. So turning 50 feels like you've grown old. It feels like, so you can look at it from different angles. So if you have been the kind of person who is just grateful for life, you're like, wow, I turned 50. It actually is 50. You can also be thinking, oh my goodness, what have I done in my 50 years? Do I have something to show for it? You know, and usually the world has set so many standards, and you're thinking, you know, according to this standard, they have set standards by 50. You should have done this by 50. If you haven't done this by 50, you know, you just lost it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, of course, those things crept in. But then I had to sit down and say, oh, God, no, you have been good. And that you are my source.
Yes.
And you're the one who knows the next 50 years of my life and how they are going to unfold. So I'm excited, looking forward to what my latter years will really look like. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. I really love hearing people who have just gone ahead in any field. Yeah, there's something they've learned that we don't know, you know. So it's such an honor to have you again. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And today we want to talk about evolving, or the different seasons that we go through in life, and how to handle each one of them. Because at one point in life, you find yourself in a season where you're actually stuck. If you're not stuck, you are having many questions. If there are not many questions, you're in that season where you're just waiting for something good to happen. You don't even know what's going to happen. You just have hope, you know. You can explain why you're believing. It's faith that you're holding on. And sometimes you don't know. It's a season, you don't know how long it's going to be. I've met people who you're like, hi, how are you doing? Renette, I'm in a season.
Autopilot.
Then you're like, okay, what's happening? What's your current season? How do I even tell you the current season? Where do I start? Mine doesn't have a description, but just know I'm alive. And there's a fear to confront what's not right. Do you get what I mean? Because you don't want to touch the issue. But then you know that sometimes when you address the issue, then that's the beginning of your freedom. So we want to talk about some of those things, evolving. How do we evolve in our different seasons? How do we evolve to fit in the current season that God has put us in? Because even the Bible tells us you don't put, you know, new wine in
old wineskins.
Old wineskins. But how do you know that your life now is holding on to an old wineskin? What do you need to shed off? What do you need to put together to respond to the season that you're in? Yeah. And what do you need to keep? What do you need to drop? So that's the conversation I want us to have. But before we go in that conversation, I know there are people who have not seen you before. So maybe you could tell us, who is Pamela? What do you do?
So who is Pamela?
Yes.
Pamela is the daughter of the king. And for me, being the daughter of the king, if it's one thing that I could just enjoy and savor every moment and every thought of it, my life would be complete. Understanding that I am here for a reason, for a purpose, for a moment, and to leave my mark and then move on to the next. That would be good. But while I'm here, I have also a few roles besides being the daughter of the king. I am a mother to two girls. I am a CEO and co-founder of Evolving Woman, which is a movement of women living wholesome lives and living life to their full potential. And I am also an author. I've authored 6 books now. I'm still counting, absolutely.
I mean, I know too.
Excited. No, for my 50th birthday, I actually launched 3 books.
Okay.
Yes. I launched 3 books. I thought it was time to give back. So I wrote a few letters to my younger self, letters to my teenage self. So yeah, I have 6 books now. Very, very, like most of the time I'm silent or on my own, and you know, just know that I am actually cooking up a book. It's become my most recent pastime. So I have lots of scripts as well. I'm also a member of a church. I go to Mavuno, and in there I participate a lot in our church. We have a location called Mavuno Kira, and I'm the elder there. Let me just say I'm the elder there. I'm the eldest in the church. Yeah, and I'm a child. I'm a daughter. I've got a mother, and a sibling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. How would you describe your current season?
my current season? You've asked a beautiful question because lately I've been thinking about seasons. I've even done an assessment for seasons for someone to discover what kind of season they're in. And it came from the fact that I started off last year extremely burnt. I started off this year when I was really burnt out. I must say last year was extremely eventful. I did so many things. I got reinstated in my master's. I finished. I'm actually graduating this month. And plus that, I had 3 books that I was writing. I had my birthday to prepare for. I was all over the place. And remember, I had lost my brother as well, so I hadn't grieved. It's like I was in autopilot, just performing. And then I discovered that, oops, 2026 is going to be a year of restoration, and that's my word for the year, restoration. So I'm in a period of rest. I am in a season where I'm taking it slow. I'm in a season where I'm giving myself permission to rest. And that means that I don't have to overperform. I actually don't intend to launch a book this year. Even when my plan was to launch 2 books every year, this year I'm going to rest. And in resting, in the season of restoration is all about going slow. It's about enjoying to be served and not to serve, or to serve minimally, or to serve with the little that you can possibly find in yourself to give. So I'm in that season of, restoration. I'm in the season where I need to just rebuild to rebuild myself. And so, yeah, that's the season I'm in.
Amazing. I want us to go back to your earlier years of childhood. And what are some of the key events or things that you can remember that have been very pivotal to the woman that you've become?
First of all, I'm the third last born in my family, meaning that I'm a typical perfect middle child.
Yes.
I know that people have talked a lot about firstborns and encouraging people, to honor the firstborns and all. But I think that the middle child is absolutely the forgotten child. And so a lot of who I am today comes out strongly because of being a middle child. You're neither the one who's being spoiled, nor the one who's being given responsibility. Sometimes you're lost. And so that childhood, as I grow older and as I keep evolving, I keep, shedding off the residues of what that meant for me. Yeah. I'll say that my childhood was really beautiful, really shielded childhood. My parents were middle class. So it's not like we were lacking in any way. Went to the best schools that I possibly could go to, or that any child would ask for in Uganda. However, when you talk about my childhood, now my eyes always go, or my ears, or my thoughts, or my everything goes back to being a middle child. Because all the assessments I've done, all the tests, all the therapy I have done, and going back and trying to discover who I am, I discover it came from being a middle child. And what being a middle child meant is that you really lacked attention. You were not the one who's door-to-door, neither were you the one who they were giving roles. In our days, you go, the older sister, my sister was the firstborn, would pound nuts, make sure the children have, showered, given all that responsibility. So when they come back, they ask you, what did you do? The last one is, did he eat? Did he do that? And then you're the one who is literally clamoring for attention, and it's really just not there. You get it? Because we were not few kids either. It's not like the 3 kids today and all. So I realized that my childhood has really set the pace. A lot of who I am is really a reflection of some of the things that I went through as a child. So growing up, I've realized that I'm a control freak. Or let me happily call myself a recovering control freak, because this is something I've been working on for the last 2 years. And when I did an assessment, which is called the Positive Intelligence Test, I discovered that one of the biggest, I had 97% controller, which is like the self-sabotaging trait that I have. And then also I'm a hyperachiever, because I've had to kind of, come out and also show myself, like attract attention and show myself, tell the world I can actually do this, while the older one, we would all see their capabilities. The younger one, they didn't need to make noise. For
They
you,
were
you needed to
already-
make your presence known somehow. And so growing up, you start to
You're fighting for space.
you've said it right. You're fighting for space. You're fighting to take your place and be seen. And so those are some of the things that I have been dealing with and shedding off over the years. Becomes more ardent, more real as you grow older, and then you start putting a finger. Oh, no wonder this is what I do. And all, like, I was surprised to discover just about 4 years ago that I am a control freak. And when I did the test and I came out 97% controller, I realized, oh my goodness. So on digging and doing research, I discovered it is because you lacked control as a child. Like, you didn't have control over your space. I was the kind of child who my sister's clothes were handed down to me, so there was no choice, no power of choice. When they're fasting, I remember my mom would have special milk for my brother who follows me because he was skinnier, the one who is. So for him, he had special attention. And then my older sister always had the attention that was obviously due to her as firstborn. So me and my brother, whom I followed, were the ones who were cantankerous, really trying to get ourselves seen. But for me, it has continued to be like the thing that I've had to shed off, the after effects of being a middle child. Yeah.
How has that journey been? Because I can imagine it's amazing to learn that the people we are in adulthood start from way back.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't identify the issue. We don't identify who we are. We tend to think, this is me. I'm a go-getter. Do you get it?
Absolutely.
And then, like, someone is super proud of it,
Yes.
but it's not like really a gift that God gave them. It's because
It's conditioned.
yeah.
You've been conditioned that way. Yeah.
So how has your life been after that? What are some of the incidents you had to go through because you were conditioned like that as a child?
Like I said, that I've been a really big control freak. The way you view life, you kind of have it in a box. You don't want it to shift a single thing, so you're not very, very good with change. Yeah, you want it to kind of be predictable. Yeah, you want to control everything and everybody. You want people to sit in a certain way because that's the way it's accepted. Having been through schools that really conditioned me to these are the do's and don'ts of life. So you kind of are one track minded of the way life is supposed to go. And if it doesn't go that way, then it really takes you off balance. So for me, it's been a journey of unlearning that,
Yeah.
of allowing God to actually control,
Yeah.
of it even accepting. I'll just say that because of being a control freak, you take pain absolutely like a punishment. You get it, eh? Because it's not supposed to be that way. Because you did A, B, C, D, and you're safeguarding against X, Y, Z, and therefore those shouldn't have been the outcomes. You get it? And so the way it hits you really far more than the people who are a bit more lax about, okay, this is what happened. It's probably part of life. Now for me, I didn't know how to accept, settle for those things as part of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's until I started this whole journey of healing and understanding that pain was part of life that I realized I was not a victim in the first place. So there's that feeling when you're a control freak that you feel like you're a victim because life was supposed to go in a certain direction, or because you put 2 and 2 together, 1 + 1 = 2. Why is it becoming 4? You get it?
You want to be in control, but things are actually not working as you want.
Because you're not in control.
Yes.
You're not in control.
Yes.
So it's later on that I realized, hey, you mean actually all the things I had been through in life that took me off balance and really made me feel like, oh my goodness, my life was really miserable, were actually part of life. Like, people are going through these things.
Yeah.
It's only that for me, I felt like I had put my ducks in a row in a certain way that those things should not have happened. I'll tell you that, growing up, I knew that, you earned God's love by doing good, by not being sinful, by trying to keep away from certain things, and therefore your life is supposed to be straight thereafter. So you do everything right, even when it's painful, so that you can earn
God's righteousness.
God's righteousness and blessings and all the good things. Now, when things are going the opposite, you're asking yourself, but how? Like, God, where were you? Were you sleeping? Did you take a nap?
What did I do?
What happened? Did I do something wrong? Okay, tell me what it is. And I've had those fights where, tell me what I have done. I will say sorry for it so that I can get out of this season. But I've also learned that those seasons actually come to make you. I mean, it's been part of my, what you would say, being or becoming. I am still being who God wanted me to be, right? And I needed to go through all those seasons, all those, clipping off all those wings, clipping off all that self-righteousness, clipping off all that feeling of entitlement, so it all just stemmed from control. But the way I viewed life and the way I took life, it felt like I was being punished. Now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, I wish I had known. I wish I had known that these seasons just had to be. I wish I had known that this is part of life. I wish I had known that everyone goes through these things.
Yeah.
And it's really okay. And you can still view God in such a way that He has let it happen for a reason. Yeah.
Amazing. I one of the things I pick out of your journey is that the experiences we go through really shape who we become. The only challenge is that we never want to accept. We would rather that those experiences didn't happen. We would wish that they never happened. But knowing that sometimes you can't even make the turn around and reverse them is, I think, the beginning of knowing I need to accept what's happening and know what God is saying at this particular season of my life. So when you look back in your life, at what point did you come to that realization? Because I know there are many, maybe you might not go in all, but in the many events that have happened, which one was the biggest that brought you to a point of saying, you know what, Pamela, you need to heal. You need to heal. You need to heal from the past experiences. Could you take us through that briefly?
Just a few months before I turned 40.
Yes.
I was just trying to make sense of life. I was actually I was in a really bad place where I felt like I was being punished, and I don't know why I was being punished. But it gave me an opportunity to now, it's like, I remember somebody speaking to me and telling me I was feeling like I was just what they call a too much woman, and the one who was not going to be accepted in society. And this person sat me down and just said, but Pamela, there's a place for strong women like you in society. And actually, if you look at yourself through the lens of Christ, you will appreciate who you are. And I went on a journey of starting to take the word of God literally as it is. I am the apple of His eye. I was created in His image. I am His. He will give up nations for me. It was like a turning point. Hey, you mean that's how God views me? He doesn't view me like the one who, if I've done X, Y, Z, then I need a beating. Then, we all have that in our mind that God is this big God with a white long beard, with a stick ready to beat us or strike when we do something wrong. When I unlearned that, everything turned around for me. I started to view myself with grace. And I think that part of the control thing, like I said, you don't even view yourself with grace. You're so hard on yourself because you're supposed to do A, B, C, D. You're supposed to do it this way. You're not supposed to fall off the straight and narrow. You're supposed to be, headed in going to heaven.
I know.
You get it? And then I started giving myself permission to be human. When I did that, that was just the beginning of setting me free. So I started my journey of healing. One, rebuilding my relationship with God, because, my relationship with God was almost non-existent when I felt like I had been punished and like He was punishing me for everything, I started rebuilding my relationship with God. And when I did, that brought me back to a place of looking at myself through the lens of Christ. How does He view me? And that's how I have to view myself. And therefore, I cannot continue wanting to have my way or have my life in a certain pattern.
life.
Yes, I needed to surrender. And then also ask God, where do you want me to be? Like for me to agree to be in a place of rest this year, it's absolute reverence to God, saying, okay, if you think I need rest, I think I need rest. And I'm just unlearning what, being in autopilot is. I'm unlearning, being on the move all the time. I'm learning how to just be. Have days when you're absolutely doing nothing. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Pamela. I think it's good to know those redefining moments because once you know what was the redefining moment, you can remodel it for someone else.
Absolutely.
I think it's a conversation we've always had here that many times when you can't explain your transformation, you can't remodel it. You can't teach it. It's a mystery. Someone can't Renette, just know God is God. I'm like, come on, please.
Give it a bit of meat.
Yeah, kindly tell us how God is good and what He has done in your life. So it needs to be clear so that we can remodel it. Yeah. So in those seasons of your life, and I know, we can never exhaust everything, but in those seasons in your life, what are some of the experiences you've had to shed off? What did you have to shed off? Because as a control freak, you really want to be in charge. And now you're confronted with the truth of God's word. How has the journey been? Because what are some of the things you had to shed off and say, it's all right?
Number one is control, which is what I would say over and over. Learning how to let it be, let people be, let everybody just be. There's this book that says, let them. And, it's just also letting you stop having control over the way people should react or the way they should do things. But two, one of the pivotal things in my life is in my process of healing and rediscovering myself and evolving, I have learned that, some of the pivotal moments of my life have been seasons of rejection. Yeah, where you've been rejected, where you did your best and thought you would be the preferred person, the chosen one, and you're still not chosen, even after you've done your best. It kind of puts you in a space where you're uptight. You're just scared of rejection. Yeah, you've been rejected a number of times. Not just it can be in marriage. It can be at your workplace. I lost a job before I have been divorced. So those seasons kind of you learn to receive rejection as a way of life, and also receive it as something that it's not always that you're being told you're not good enough, because those are seasons that you ask yourself, am I good enough? Do I really have what it takes to be the person that is preferred or chosen? But you second guess yourself in those circumstances. I've learned that rejection is actually elevation telling you this door is closed, but there's an open one elsewhere. And this door is not yours. Yeah, this door is not yours. You can move on. And I'll tell you, it's been almost a 50-year journey to get to the point of appreciating that rejection is actually part of life, and it's really okay. The other thing has also been shedding off the feeling of loneliness. Sometimes I've had seasons where I felt like I was giving more than I was receiving. Like, I was the kind of person who was there for everybody, but could I really vouch that they were there for me, And I realized that many times when you're the giver, you also don't know how to receive. So I've learned how to shed off that feeling of I give, and I don't receive, and start looking for where actually people have been willing to give, and sometimes I've not been willing to receive. Yeah, that has been another thing that I've learned to shed off. I've learned to shed off quite a number of things. It's been seasons of evolving. I look at myself like typically like the way the snake sheds its skin every so often. So you find that God is telling you now, Pamela, this is the direction. And He keeps chipping things one by one. What I like about God is that He overwhelms you with all the negativity, all the things that are terrible that you need to change. Even now at 50, He's telling me, I think, Pamela, now we need to work on this direction. It's a lifetime of discovering yourself, discovering the things about you that need to change. But as you are becoming the person that God wanted you to be, He will keep, leading you into places where you can chip the other.
Amazing. As you were speaking, especially on the bit of rejection, I just reflected on my own life and there were seasons where, I felt that there was a season in my life where I felt like a certain group of people rejected what I had to offer. Like sidelined and reject. Then I kept wondering, and it was my first encounter in my life, and I felt like, okay, so this is what rejection is about.
Yeah.
You kind of like, when you say that, it's actually normal, I can relate, because immediately when that opportunity closed, immediately another one opened. And you could dwell there and cry for something that is not there, yet God is showing this season is over, this door is closed, but I'm opening you up to something else. I'm opening you up to something bigger. And it's important for us to evolve, to move when God moves.
Yeah, absolutely.
To respond when He's speaking, to be keen to know that
His voice.
The
saying,
season has
direction.
ended. You need to
Absolutely.
move. If you don't move, you will not hear Him again, because He looks to His word to perform it. If His word, you've not acted on it, then His performance is not there. So I could relate so strongly. But I also know you've worked with women, and I know you've had experiences with many of the people that you've worked with. And particularly today, I want to talk about people who are in leadership. Especially high-profile people who have quite attained quite a lot in life, and because of what they have in their lives, they don't find people who are truthfully wanting to work with them. Do you get what I mean? Because you always feel like everybody who comes to you
wants something from you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because maybe you're a high achiever, you're a high profile person, you're this person everybody looks up to, everyone refers to, you're everyone's reference. But you reach a point and maybe you don't have a reference. Maybe because of how people regard you, there's a way you cannot admit certain issues that you're going through. For the sake of the body, for the sake of the company you lead, for the sake of the people that look up to you.
The good name.
Yeah. You would rather never get helped. Yeah. And in your experiences working with people like that, what are some of the issues you've noticed people struggle with but never open up?
Like the cliche word that says that it's lonely at the top.
Yes.
It really is lonely at the top. These are human beings with flesh and blood. They go through ordinary things that we all go through. But there is a tendency for the world to kind of give you a yardstick and put you at a certain pedestal. And that pedestal comes with so many things, prim and proper, I've had people who are on the top and then they give you a chance to coach them. And they come driving a car you would never dream. And they are high up there, but they're at the verge of committing suicide. And so I just realized, like you say, it's really lonely at the top, is that you don't know who to speak to, who to open up to, because you've been the one who they open up to, speak to. It's you that gives. And now you're looking for somebody who can listen to you without judging you, because the world has already put you at a pedestal where you should have already overcome. If you're a CEO, you're expected to overcome the petty things of the world, yet you're actually going through them on a daily. You're human. You get it? I think that we lack, let me just say it this way, we lack spaces where the top leaders in society can be able to run to. We lack spaces because they need safe spaces, and they don't feel like if they just go absolutely anywhere for healing or for therapy that they're covered. And yet I think that's a degree of pride. I think for me, one of the things I have learned as a leader is to be vulnerable, to be authentic, to even show the people who are following me or who are looking up to me that I am human, that I fall, that I also falter. There are times when I go for we have an altar, evolving woman altar. It's called excavators. And while I'm there, I'm vulnerable enough to say, guys, today I'm not going to lead. I need prayers as well. I feel like I'm really low. I feel like I need strength. And because I've learned to be authentic, then I can find help. If you're not authentic, you'll not find help. No one is going to know that you actually need it.
Yes.
Everybody thinks that you're well taken care of.
Yes.
So I think that there must be, I'm just having this as a visual in my head, that when a lot is poured into you, there must also be an outlet. You get it? There must be an outlet. If you don't have an outlet, you're going to, fill up and overflow and then burst out. And then those are the people that we find bleeding on their subordinates, bleeding in their marriages, on their children, and everybody, because they do not get to be authentic enough to open and allow somebody else to come into their space to help them to heal. And so, yes, the leader really needs a lot of attention. We offer a course called EZA, Talitha right now. It evolved into a course called Talitha. And for the longest time, I would, meet CEOs who are willing to send their people to come and do the course, but they can't come themselves. But when you talk to them, you realize they're actually hurting. And they're like, but I can't come to that space and start to open up. They need to pay people abroad thousands of dollars
But now,
to be able to help them.
actually, I was wondering about that because for me, I feel like if somebody is a high achiever, they have a high profile, but struggling with an issue, and they feel like where there is help, they can't come because of their title. I feel like that's pride
That's pride.
expressed in pain.
Yes.
And I don't think God desires that for us. I think God desires that brokenness where you peel off everything, like you mentioned, because you mentioned the issue of pride. And I think we get sometimes overtaken with
I think
our titles,
the title gets to your head,
and then
and you forget that you are first, even a child of God.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yes.
Worst case scenario, what does God speak about you? Because for him, he's not a respecter of persons, like he says. Even when he's dealing with you, he's dealing with you as his child. And he will reprimand you. He'll actually tell you, it's time for you to go and tell your subordinate that you are sorry. You didn't do right there. And sometimes you find it hard because that means then you're going to come off like weak. I know. Yes.
And then you would rather speak to somebody who doesn't know you abroad,
Yes.
and you don't confront the issue that you're having by meeting someone who is real. And I think for me, that's the beginning of more issues, because we tend to put up like these masks where I would rather have online coaching. Do you get? You ask someone who's your mentor or who's your person.
Person is in the States.
Yeah, there's this coach, there's this life coach in the States, and I mean, she's just an amazing lady. When you talk to her, you feel like, oh, this is the person you've always wanted. And then you're like, come on, like, what's the lie that you're living? Because at the end of the day, you need a person you can remodel, but they're not. They're so, I always feel like, man, even these people who are like high profile and there is an issue that you're struggling, I think you need to come off the horse.
Yeah, absolutely. And find help, because sometimes it actually goes beyond what you can. I know many people who are functional. And like I can say that before I discovered that I needed to help and I needed healing, I was very functional. Sometimes beautifully functional. Sometimes extremely, extremely, achieving and productive, but emotionally drained. Yeah, like you're operating from a point of exhaustion, and when you're exhausted, how much can come out of you? Little. So you think that you actually, you think that you're doing very well, but sooner or later you're going to shut down. You're going to shut down.
True.
And I think that it's important for us to keep ourselves in check as we grow higher, as we move higher. Keep yourself in check. And I like it that when people strip you of all those things, then you're left bare. What do you have left to you when they have stripped you of all the titles and accolades that you have picked along the way? One of the things we always do when we have a training, we say, can you pass on all the accolades and the titles? Because for us here, it's an authentic space. You just have to hit it as it is. And we literally collect the titles because we realize that the woman needs a lot of help, to look at things from a really fresh perspective, but also to keep it low, keep it down, keep it real. Yeah.
Amazing. And I love the that whole process for somebody to identify there's an issue and I need healing. I need healing. So, and I know healing is not something that is instant. Yeah, it's a process. You peel off layers. And maybe from your personal journey, what are some of the layers you've had to peel off for you to reach this level where you can speak about an issue and confront it in another person's life? Yes.
One of the biggest things I've had to learn is to learn to identify offense and know that offense is actually a bait from Satan.
Offense is a bait from, what a statement.
Yeah. And because it's a bait, I need to be cautious enough to always remember that, so and so has said this, but I don't think they actually meant to say it that way. Under what circumstances were they saying it? Like, I have given myself permission to sit down and first think before I even allow myself to be extremely hurt or involved emotionally in whatever the situation is. So one of the things I've had to shed off was offense. I can say that I still get offended, but I catch myself and I say, but Pamela, you're human. I mean, you could have done that. You could have done that. You could have
What
said
that
that.
person did,
Yes.
you could have
You
done
could
it.
have done it. So why are you judging them? Because then you're judging yourself. Was one of the things I've really had to shed off. I've also had to shed off the fact that the feeling of unworthiness for good things, unworthiness for a good life, unworthiness for good outcomes, which are a sign of pain. Sometimes when you feel like you're not worthy, it comes from a place of you're not deserving because you have been through all these things. There's a lot of shame that comes with the things that we go through in life. And so because of that, I've learned to identify shame as well and say, I'm not going to take myself down that road. I'm not allowing to take shame. I mean, I don't want to accept the shame to take me down. And shame really is also still a bait of Satan, trying to tell you you're not good enough. Remember, you did that, or you didn't deserve that, or you've not met certain, should I say, milestones in life, and you feel like maybe you're late on certain things, and therefore that comes with a lot of shame. I have had to learn to identify shame and also shed it off. So many things. It's just been, different things, shedding different things in the different, seasons of life.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. And I know you've worked with people, and I feel like just your journey is okay for anybody. Like, for example, if I shed off and I'm on that journey of healing, at the end of the day, I'm grateful. I'm like, good, I'm grateful to God. I went through this. But it's another thing when what you've gone through becomes the beginning of your purpose to help others. I think there are few people who see their experiences as a place God uses to actually help others. So was that journey the conviction behind working with other women, or this was a complete different understanding altogether? How was that for you?
When I was going through my journey, I thought I was alone. Like everything I was going through, I thought I was alone. I felt like life was not dealing well with me alone. I wasn't looking around to see that the things I was going through, other people were also going through them. And worse situations. And so when I finally realized that, wow, okay, this was the journey, but doesn't define me. And then I started looking around and realizing many women were like the old self, my old self, the feeling of being a victim, the feeling of I'm not good enough because life has dealt with me, the feeling of rejection, and all those things that I was feeling. I started seeing them in other people, even when I had long moved on, or I started shedding them off slowly. I then thought, why not help these people? Just to shed light and say, you're not alone. You're not the first. You'll not be the last. This is actually common. And you can actually go past it because I have. I then decided, why not work with women? Why not work with women? That's how it started. And for me, it's been a journey of pain to purpose. And also appreciating the fact that finding your purpose and living it out is the highest level of worship.
Wow.
It's the highest level of worship in the sense that you are telling God, now I know why I'm here and I'm willing to do the things that you brought me here for. So then you're making every day count. So every day I'm thinking, how am I making life change and count for the next person? Because that's what I'm here for. And appreciating that, whereas I'm also still shedding and still going through the different scenes of life, along the journey I am helping those who are where I am coming from. So from wherever I am coming from, I have to draw lessons and be able to teach the next person who is going to go through those situations. And appreciating that, yeah, it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me alone. It was for many other and countless people.
Countless people. And I
Yeah.
think it's even scriptural that the things you go through, you know, you go through it so that you might comfort others, so that you might walk with others. But sometimes we look at this, my life, who can I even help? Who can walk with me? And I've seen people who, I'll give you an example. Like I've seen two women broken. One just rises and starts sharing about it, gets other women that are in the same situation, tells them, man, you're gonna get out, Pamela. You're gonna get out. Let me tell you, God took me through this and I'm now great. I've become who I've become because of what the Lord did for me. You are going to this is small. This is small. And I've also seen another, they go through the same and it becomes the badge of honor.
Absolutely.
Everywhere they go,
Absolutely.
they're like, Renate. Anyway, continue doing what you're doing. But for me, it's like somebody packed. Do you get what I mean? Like something happened in their lives and that was the
Might even
end.
be in the same family.
Exactly.
People went through the same experience.
They went through the same.
And they all took it differently.
Yeah.
Their response is different.
So I feel like our response to God is very, very, very key. And as we bring this to a close, I want you to speak to a woman who is at that point of their lives where they feel like, you know, the things that they've gone through have kind of become what everyone defines them to be. Like they are tired of even explaining. They feel like, oh, anyway, I am the bleeding woman. You know, I am the orphan, I'm the widow, I am the everything
the
that has
victim.
happened. I'm the victim. I was the one who failed in the marriage.
Yeah.
I'm the one who aborted. I'm the one who did this. I'm the one who has failed in. I'm the one who has the highest body count. You know, and it kind of keeps resonating in your head that, man, you've messed up, you know, and when someone says it and affirms the wrong you've done, you actually believe them. Yeah. So what did you tell that woman as we bring this to close?
Yeah, I would like to say, first of all, that for everybody out there, learn to look at life from different perspectives. Yeah, it will help you to actually see that your perspective is not always right. Yeah, and so I would say that the difference between the two women is just perspective. The one who gets up and picks their mat and walks and goes and tells about Jesus healing, yeah, is different from the ones the lepers who walked away and never said anything and probably even went back and fell back or whatever. Gratitude. One of the things in there is gratitude. How do you view life? We are going to have to learn to change perspective. Just change the way you see life, the way you interpret it, the way you view it. And that should be able to be like the beginning point for you to move to the next level, on the positive side. But speaking to that woman who is wallowing and who is stuck, for lack of a better word, I think I'll just simply say, number one, God is not surprised. He's not surprised by the fact that you're failing to cope with life, cope with the situations as they come. Emotional wellness is really about coping with life. Yeah, how do you view life? Do you feel like you're coping? Do you feel like it's just too tough? Are you overwhelmed and whatever? God is actually waiting with his arms wide open for the person who is tired, broken, beaten, crushed, name it all, but is willing to lay at the cross and find rest. I think that the first step would really be to say and acknowledge, I think I am drowning. I think I'm not doing well.
I have a problem.
Acknowledge that I have a problem. And on my own, I have failed. on my own, I have failed. Because we try out things
Yes.
on our own.
Yes.
Then we realize that we actually don't have the tools to do so. Find help. Find help. Find help means you can also find someone who's gone through your situation and they've come out of it. Be willing to learn. You see, I keep telling people, why do you want to reinvent the wheel? And yet somebody else has been there before you. The world is waiting to see what you have to offer. How do you offer it in a state of resignation? You can't be resigned. And therefore, I would say that, number one, Christ died on the cross for a person like you. And he knows what it is to go through troubles of all kinds, to the point of rejection, of pain, of being mistreated by the people he died for. I keep saying if I was God, I probably would have given up along that journey. Yeah. But he knows it all. So why don't you just give it back to him? Why don't you come back to him knowing that he's willing to handle? I think it's good for us to go to the cross and just lay there in utter, not resignation, but in surrender. Saying, on my own I've failed, but I'm willing to work with you on the direction that you take me. And it's in knowing that you don't know it all. But the one who knows it all, the one who knows the end from the beginning, is willing to actually hold your hand and take you to the next level. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. What's key there is that you need help.
You need help.
Acknowledge you need help.
Yeah.
Acknowledge that I am sick. My heart is sick. I just pray that whoever has listened to this will get the conviction to get help. But above all, know that the first place of healing is going back to the ultimate healer, going back to God, going back to that place where you're real with him and tell him, I'm broken, I'm hurting, I feel rejected, I feel this, I need help. Where do I start from? And as you do that, God will speak to you. God will speak to you. I know it's amazing to walk with people, and this is what we are talking about on this show. But even you can't just walk with everyone. Even God will lead you to the right person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once God is the beginning of, once he's the first person you get to, he will lead you to the person that is going to walk with you. So I want to thank you so much for listening. I want you to go in our comment section and let us know what you've learned. If this is a conversation that resonated so much with you, please let us know what you've learned, okay? Until next time, bye-bye.
Now, a child from a dysfunctional home becomes a problem to the entire world because they want to take revenge on everybody else.
Yes.
But we didn't hurt you. It's those people who hurt you. So, Renette, addressing the issue of dysfunctional homes, I believe is at the heart of the Father. God is depending on us to bring healing first to our dysfunctional homes. I don't know how God wants you to do that, but put yourself in a place where you say, I'm willing to bring healing here. First of all, you cannot get healed until you acknowledge that there is a problem.
Yes.
Have you met those people who don't acknowledge that they have a problem at all?
They
Say,
don't.
no, until I acknowledge that I have an anger problem, I can't deal with anger.
Oh, yes.
I can't even repent of it.
Oh, yes.
Because I think I'm justified.
Oh, yes.
Yeah? So the first step is come to terms with the issues and say, this is where I am. I am sick. I am a sick person.